Good morning, grade 7. Today's lesson is linear and nonlinear texts. What is the objective of today's lesson? It is to help you transcode information from linear to nonlinear texts and vice versa. To transcode information. But what does the word transcode mean? Transcode means to convert or to change. Or as applied in our lesson, it is to rewrite. Thus, it is to rewrite information or details presented from linear to nonlinear text and vice versa. Yes, that is right. We're going to rewrite ideas from linear to nonlinear and the other way around. But what are linear and nonlinear texts? Don't you worry, I am here to help, and I know that you can do this. For today's lesson, you will be needing your learner's material or your English grade 7 module, pages 33 to 36. Of course, do not forget your pen and your notebook. Let us start. For our pre-activity, do this activity on page 33. The instruction says, take a look at the infographic about the October 23, 2020 update on COVID-19 cases in the country. There are 5 questions to be answered here. Let us see if you can locate the information or details presented here in the infographic. Let us see if you can locate the information asked based on the infographic. Question number 1. Out of the total number of cases reported, how many were actually fresh cases confirmed during the date indicated? Correct! 1,923 newly reported cases. Kindly read the question for number 2. Begin. Can you locate the information? Correct, it is Davao City. Kindly read the question for number 3. Begin. Now locate the information. Correct, 11.3. Next, kindly read question number 4. Begin. Now locate the information. Correct, 83.6%. For the last number, kindly read the question. Begin. Now locate the answer. Correct. 365,799 total cases, cumulative number of confirmed cases. Good job! Now, please try to do this another activity. Learning Tasks 1 on page 33. Instruction says, classify the items below. There are 10 items as to linear or nonlinear texts. Write your answers in your notebook. You all know that this is a pre-test since I haven't taught you what linear or nonlinear texts are. Kindly pause the video and answer the 10 items. Click the play button once you're done. Just leave your answers in your notebook. I will give you time to check them later on. Now for the next activity, Learning Task 2 on page 34. Instruction says identify what is being described by each definition under column A. Choose from the options provided under column B. Write the letters of your answers in your notebook. Again, kindly pause the video for you to answer the activity and click the play button once you're done. Just leave your answers in your notebook. I will give you time to check them later on. Now that you are done with the pre-activities, let us now proceed with the discussion. What are linear and non-linear texts? What do we have here? Correct, these are eyeballs. How our eyes move while we read determines the reading path or pattern as we decode or get information from the texts we read. It is important in defining whether a text is linear or non-linear. The way that our eyes move as we read a text defines the reading path or pattern from which we get the information from what we read. Here is a visual representation. This line has beginning and an end. If we are reading something with a beginning and a certain pattern to the end, it is considered a linear text. On the other hand, if the text that we are reading has no specific pattern, unlike beginning and an end, it could go up, down, left, right, anywhere has information, it is considered a non-linear text. To help you understand them better, here are the examples of a linear text. We have novels, poems or poems, short stories, letters, and educational texts. Mga nobela, tula, maiikling kwento, mga liham o sulat, at yung mga binabasa ninyo sa mga module o sa mga libro na meron sa paaralan. Ang lahat ng ito kapag binabasa natin ay mayroong simula at wakas. Simple lamang ang pattern na sinusunod natin sa pagbabasa. On the other hand, here are the examples of the nonlinear text. We have flowcharts, charts, graphs, and other graphic organizers. Do you get it now? To make it even simpler, linear texts are composed of just words. Words presenting information or details. On the other hand, non-linear texts can be presented with different graphic organizers. Later on, we will be learning more about the non-linear texts. I hope this helps. Now, let us stop to review your answers earlier for task 1. Get your notebook. You are free to change your answers before we proceed with checking. Now, let us check. Good job! Now, as I promised, we are going to learn more about the nonlinear texts. The first one is the line graph. Kindly read what a line graph is. Begin. Very good. A line graph displays data or data that continuously changes over a specific amount or period of time. Example, cookie sales. The number of boxes sold differs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And here is the line. Next, we have bar graph. Kindly read the definition of the bar graph. Begin.
Just like what you read, a bar graph is a graphical representation of data that uses bars to compare data according to given categories. Such bars may run either vertically or horizontally.
Here are some of the examples.
Students' favorite color. We have here the number of students and the respective favorite color.
Next, we have the pie or circle graph. Kindly read the definition of a pie chart or a pie graph. Begin. Very good. As you can see, this looks like a pie.
And portions or slices are used to represent numerical proportions or percentages of a given whole.
The next one is the Venn diagram. Kindly read the meaning of a Venn diagram. Begin. Very good.
For the example, you can see here the overlapping circles as the shapes used in representing the similarities and differences between two items or concepts. The first one, we have the hamburger. The hamburger has both the veggies and the bread part. And on the other side, with mathematics, multiples of 3 and 5, and we have both 15 and 30.
Now you know the several examples of the nonlinear text, namely line graph, bar graph, pie graph or circle graph, and the Venn diagram. Now, let us stop to review your answers earlier for task 2. Again, you are free to change your answers before we proceed with checking. You may pause the video and proceed when you're done. Now let us check.
For number 1, concept diagram, correct. 2, Venn diagram, correct. 3, bar graph, correct. 4, pie chart, correct. And number 5, C, line graph, correct.
Good job.
Now let me see if you still remember our objective.
Again, linear text has beginning to end and mostly expressed in words, while nonlinear text has no specific pattern as you read them, and they are mostly presented with shapes and lines and bars and other things and images. They are presented in a graphical or visual form. Okay, but how do we rewrite ideas from linear to nonlinear or nonlinear to linear? On page 35 of your module, there are several steps that you may follow. Please read along with me. Step 1. Read and understand the source text to get its main or central ideas. Basahin at unawain ang babasahin o yung binasa para makuha mo ang mga importanteng punto o ideyang napapaloob dito. Step number 2. Extract important details to be included in the visual presentation. Piliin ang mga importanteng detalye na dapat mong isali sa iyong visual presentation o yung pipiliin mong non-linear text. Step 3. Remember to use words or phrases only. Tandaan, nagagamit lamang kayo ng mga salita o parirala sa pagpipresenta ng mga detalye na inyong napili. Step 4. To be organized, classify information into categories. Para mas maayos tingnan, kailangan alam mo na kung ano-ano yung mga grupo o pangkat na impormasyon na ipapakita mo sa graphic organizer. Kagaya na lamang kung papaano pinagtabi-tabi ang mga impormasyon tungkol sa COVID-19 cases noong October 2020. Step 5. Make sure to use the appropriate nonlinear text in presenting your information. At kailangan siguraduhin na sakto o akma ang gagamitin mong nonlinear text sa pagpapakita ng iyong impormasyon. Ito ba ay line graph, bar graph, pie graph, or Venn diagram? There you have it, the steps that you may follow in transcoding or rewriting information from linear to nonlinear text. These steps also may apply when you do the vice versa. It is just that from graphs or images, you're going to express the ideas and information into words. You are going to use sentences. Buo na. To support step 5, here is an activity. Orally identify what nonlinear text or visual representations should be used in transcoding the sample linear texts listed below. Schools report on the summer of enrollment from 2018 to 2020. What is the appropriate nonlinear text? Correct, line graph. We only have school report, enrollment, and the time is from 2018, 2019, 2020. Number 2, paragraph discussing the similarities and differences between two persons. What is the appropriate nonlinear text? Venn diagram, correct. How about comparison on the sales of kapeng barako in 3 different cities? Bar graph, correct. A paragraph explaining how a Filipino teenager spends his weekend? Circle or pie graph, correct. And the last one, a survey report showing how much time Filipinos spend on social media would be also a circle or pie graph. Very good.
I hope the activities were able to help you establish what linear and nonlinear texts are and how to transcode one to the other.
I will let you answer the next 2 activities on your own.
Please use the provided answer sheet for the following activities.
Okay, learning task 4 is found on page 36. Just disregard this. Just use the worksheet provided or the answer sheet. Transcode the information below into an appropriate nonlinear representation. And the last activity is learning task 6. Using the answer sheet, come up with an appropriate nonlinear representation just for topic 2. Okay, topic 2, how you usually spend a day during the enhanced community quarantine.
In conclusion, explain the following in your own words. Now complete the statement. Learning about linear and nonlinear text and transcoding them will enable me to...
Thank you very much for your participation and for taking this time to study with me. I hope you stay safe, healthy, helpful at home, and calm. Thank you very much. For more information or if you have questions, please feel free to send me a private message through SMS or via Messenger. Bye! God bless!